October's energy forecast, if I could sum it up in one single word, it's movement. I've got many images and metaphors that came in when I was tapping in, sat down, channeled, and asked about October. And essentially, they were just saying the same thing over and over again. In September, it felt like there was a lot of either uncertainty or stagnation, or you're in limbo. And I mean, we were in eclipse season. There's a lot of just kind of holding, that holding pattern. And then in October, they just show movement. They show, and for some of you, it's going to be very rapid thing. If you've been like sitting and waiting and it just feels like nothing's ever going to change, October is like, it's go time. Movement, start the thing, do the thing, make the decision. Whatever you've been sitting on, whatever you've been dreaming up, if it feels like it hasn't been time, October is letting you know that it is time, and there's fast movement available for you. So take that first step, take that, make that call, write that email, do the thing, share your whatever you want to share. Next one is interesting because it speaks to a larger theme, but I've been talking about for a few videos, the Ascension energies for 2025, 26, 27. You can find that video. And a few other videos where I talked about in March of 2025, there was an initial kind of opening of energy or new energy coming in. And then in September, it was like that energy that started to come in, awakens. And then October, again, there's this energy of going. But with that, they're saying initiates. And it's not in connection to any religion at all. The way they're showing it is, so this is a very specific message for a very specific person. There's some of you who have this contract, this soul contract, that you came down to be an initiate or to be a teacher. And some of you haven't walked that path or haven't started that or you've been ignoring it. And for some of you, it feels like a really long time, like years and years and years and years. They're saying you came here with a purpose, with a mission. You came here with contracts, soul contracts, and it's time to fulfill those. Time to either be the student, to be the teacher, to be both, because what they're actually showing, it's less about you on the individual level. Obviously, for sure, it's about you, but it's also not about you. It's about this bigger web of interconnectivity. And it's funny because I was just having this conversation the other day. I was like, imagine if I never stepped into my gifts. I came into my intuitive and psychic awareness 20 years ago, and then there was a period of time where I had to shut it down. I shut it down completely out of survival, and I felt like I would never be able to go back into that. And I fought it within myself for a long time, and then I had this spiritual awakening and this vision come through where I got the message like, you got to get back into it. There's a bigger energy, there's a bigger understanding beyond what you can see, and it's time for you to go back to your gifts. And I heeded that call, and it's interesting to imagine that if I didn't heed that call, all I can imagine now is my life this way, but it was a choice that I made. And if I didn't, the ripple out effect, like I have worked on hundreds and hundreds of people, and I have seen in just my community alone, the positive ripple out effect of I said yes, and saying yes and stepping into it, someone else did, and then someone else did, and someone else did. And then there's so many people impacted. And it's not to say that if not for me, then other people wouldn't be doing it. I do believe that someone else would have came and filled that, but it would have been a different ripple out effect. And you as the initiate, to see, it's almost like the coding of that contract is, I feel it really strongly on the feet. Really strongly, almost like they're tattooing my feet. It is in the root of you. It is bound in your contract, and it's time to heed that and recognize that when you step into your gifts, your abilities, your full expression, your creativity, your whatever, it allows for this ripple out effect. It's again, yes, it's about you, but it's not about you. They're showing this bigger interconnectedness that is waiting for you, that then allows a cascade of things as well. Those are honestly the main messages. There's other imagery they're showing, almost like a curtain being pulled up, things being exposed, but that's not necessarily new. We've seen this theme for a while, and it's going to continue to happen. It's not just revelations of things that aren't working, it's also revelations of that new energy coming in. We're going to see that expression, that positive expression that came in March of this year, and have that kind of ripple out effect. Showing it as like the divine structure is shifting. The last thing I'm going to leave you with is, again, I feel like not necessarily October dependent, similar to last month's energy forecast, and I'm kind of questioning, like, do I keep doing these monthly energy forecasts because they're not necessarily staying as the energy of the month. Like, for example, last month I talked about a change in the ley lines. This feels like maybe the next iteration of that, because they're showing beings who look human, but they're actually a higher dimensional being here. So it's not like you're a star seed, you came down and have this incarnation, you're in this physical incarnation and you're living out as the human. It's like they're a being who has condensed their energy in it's kind of like a mask of a human. That sounds negative connotation, but it's like they're actually a Pleiadian. They're actually, a being that isn't of Earth, but they kind of look it, but they're showing like the face maybe is a little longer, elongated, or the eyes are really big. But essentially, they're showing the energy field around these people, or these beings, not people, has been kind of like cloaked for their own integration, right? Like they know who they are, what they are. It's for our kind of integration of them. That cloaking is no longer, it's not relevant. It's that because only certain people are going to hold this awareness, but you can't hide. Again, there's a negative connotation in that, but it's like, because your personal frequency is rising and the shift in Mother Earth, which connected into the ley lines shifting, the grid shifting, again, go back to September's energy forecast as a reminder of what that is. Your consciousness, you're just becoming aware of different energy. And so they're showing it as a global scale, and all of a sudden there's like these lights that pop up where their radiance is just so extraordinary. There's going to be some of you who become aware of that there's these beings helping us in physical form. They have condensed their energy and they're actually in physical form, walking amongst us, these benevolent, loving, supportive beings guiding us. They're not just formless, they're not just light, they're not just beyond our atmosphere in crafts. There's a very small or select few, but they are here. And some of you are going to become aware of that in October as this continual ascension process. Happy October.